make Howie a friend today. He is going to be listed this evening. Hopefully he gets adopted tonight, and he needs to be sent off with a little friend. He doesn't have a pacifier, so he's not very happy. So he only has his thumb, and with his new front teeth, his thumb sucking is a little hurtful. So let's make Howie a friend. The first thing we're going to do is we're just going to kind of look at it. We're looking at Howie. This is how I create. As I look at Howie and I see he's got his two front teeth right there. He's got his little purple tongue right there. He can suck his thumb, but he doesn't have a pacifier. So I need to turn this little guy into something that Howie can use for his teeth. So what can we make out of this one little head to make something fun for Howie? I don't know. So let's go ahead and we're going to get some fabric, some fleece, and see what we can turn this into. Okay, here's some scraps of fleece. And just going through the scraps of fleece, I think I want to make him like a little lizard boy, like a little lizard with a long tail, so that Howie can have the tail to gnaw on. And we'll make him with like a little hood with his little lizard top on it. So now we have to sketch it out. And this might be I have to get some reference materials, and I usually do that on my laptop. So let's do that. Let's look for cartoon lizard. And that'll just give us a funny little thing to look at and see what comes up. Here we go. Let's go to images. And we want him green. Oh, this one's cute. Isn't this one cute? Look at this one. That one's adorable. Oh, this one's great. This one is great right over here. Let's look at this one. Oh my. With the little shirt. Okay, this one is Spark. I think I love him more. Look at him. Look at his eyes. He is, I love him so much. And he's got the little pointies on the top of his head. I love his eyes, his little nose, and so let's dive in. Let's make a little sketch and see what we can come up with. We're going to use our heat erasable pen so that we can get rid of it when we're done. But he only has little nostrils, so we're going to put the little nostrils here. Put his little nostrils, and then he has like his little things up here, and his eyes kind of bulge up, like over here, and go down here. And we might make this part might be his hood on his that he's wearing, because he's going to be like a hybrid little thing. And so we'll put his eye here and an eye here. Of course, it'll be better aligned. Little pupil, and then his mouth right here. Okay, so this is what I've got, and we're going to make the arch over his eyeball out of the fleece. So now we've got this, and again, he's going to be a hybrid, so we're going to make him like, we need to have his little body. You can see, make sure we're in frame here. Pencil. You would think I would have a million pencils, but I do not. I do not have a million pencils. So let's go here. And if I'm looking here, we know his little arms are kind of like this. And we'll make it come out. And we'll make it, again, we're only doing, it's just something that Howie can put in his mouth. So we're just going to make it very lean. Very lean. His arms will be a separate connection so that we can get his body on. He's got like a bigger chest, so let's do that. And then we know his legs will come out, so ignore this. Make sure you can see. I'll go over it darker in just a second. And so we're going to have his little frog body, or his little lizard body, little legs, like this. Like this, and you get the idea. And then we will fold it in half and make it. Let me just make it darker so you can kind of get an idea of what we're doing. Okay, and we'll just fold this in half, like we'll cut it out, and then we'll use our fleece and we'll build his little body. And we still have to do the head or the hood, so he'll have like a little lizard hood. I almost forgot his tail, so we're gonna have to make a tail connected to it too. So let's do a lizard tail, kind of like this. Like a lizard tail that kind of looks like that. But what I'm really concerned about is giving like a little, let's go to a little bulbous end the hood, so that when Howie, and we're going to measure the head, and I'll do centimeters because it's small. So about 11 centimeters, and then I'm going to go 13. That just gives me 1 centimeter like seam allowance, 2 centimeters seam allowance. So let's do 12. Now let's do 13. Let's do 13. So let's do. I'm going to put it over here because we're going to fold it in half. This is just making on the fly, guys. So I hope you enjoy this video. This is exactly how I do it. Nothing's usually ever planned out when I make these little animals. It's very rare that I use the same animal twice for babies. So, okay, so that is going to be the center here. And so that is 13 centimeters and about 2 centimeters wide. So 2 centimeters wide will get here, and that'll just be his in between, and then we'll build the around part. And again, remember, we're going to try to do his raised eyes over here. So we've got 13 here. We might even make it go down. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, let's do that. Let's do, so that'd be 14 and a half centimeters. So let's go ahead and do this, 14 and a half. Again, this is not planned. This is just how I create. So that is going to come out. All right, let's do 14 and a half. Go back up. And that's going to come to the middle of his head. So we know between his eyes is about a centimeter. So let's do a centimeter. I like to just do it like that. That looks pretty good, actually. So let's go ahead and do like this, so we can see. And we'll pull that in. Fold it in half. We got the right half there, so get it uneven. And then we're going to go here, and then here. Okay. Okay. And so we have this part, and this will go between his eyes, like this, and around his head, like that. Now we need to connect 2 sides here, but we have to keep in mind that we're trying to make an eyebrow ridge here. So we're going to have to, it might actually be the front part and the back part, and then we'll have to connect the 4 things. So this is going to take some thinking. So, and some, I don't know. So if we want this to come up, this is where working with fabric works. We want that to come up like this, kind of in a ridge. Let's see if I can get this. Again, guys, this is just how I create. This is how a pattern comes together, is by creating. So, okay, so something like that. Can you see that? And that gives us a good eye ridge like this. And then we can paint his eye in there. So now we have to, we'll use this as a pattern. So let's put this on like this. You see seam line. We're going to trace. We're going to just put some, and then this is where it meets the center of the head. So we're going to go up. Like right here. Okay. So then that is our pattern that we're going to attempt to use. So we've got, this would be where the back comes down. This is the eyebrow ridge. And this is what will connect to the center front part of it. So now we got to get the back. So let's go ahead and we're going to cut this out, lining for this with our fabric scissors. Okay, so that's this. Yeah, see? Okay. Now we'll have to make a lining for this so that we can get this eyebrow ridge to stay raised. So, and we might, what we might do is just go ahead and line it with the same fabric or maybe something darker. Let's look at our reference picture. Yeah, maybe something darker, or even a different color, like maybe orange, gold, something. I don't know if I have those colors in fleece, but we can maybe see if it works. All right, so now we need to connect, and I'm going to make a back. I usually put a line where I know that that is the front. There we go. And so now we're going to take this part, and we're going to take and put that here. So we know that lines up. Again, this is just, it's chaos. This is how creating is. It's chaos because you don't know. All right, and so let's go ahead. We don't want to go too above where his mouth is. So let's go like this. And we'll come down. We'll come around his chin right here, around his neck chin, and we're going to go down to his neck like this. Get that. Like this, like this. That's pretty good. And then so let's just go over here. We're going to give a bit of an arch because the neck is not a straight line, it's curved. So we might have to add, see how we are not straight down like right here, which might be a good thing because we can maybe then put a dart in there and that would hug his back of his head more. So let's go ahead and cut this out. There we go. So now we've got this and this. Let's make the appropriate lines so that we know where we're connecting. And then that will be a dart. So then we have this and this. Okay, see how that would look? And then that will be connected to his body, like right here. See how that's coming together? I love it. Don't you love it? I think it's pretty cool. Okay, so now I need to make the pattern and cut that out. Look at my fleece and see what, how much fleece I have in my scrap pile. This is that we can make all this happen here. I know I just had it. Here. This will be the tail. It'll come off like that. You can see. So he can sit down and that is his tail. And his little arm. And then that'll be his head right here. And so we had to make sure that our neck and the now on the head and neck on the body fleece and see what so we that have the and how we can make him because we can take this part right here and add a lighter color to give him some dimension. We can also do it with the tail. We can make the top side of the tail the same color as the body, but the underside of the tail can be a lighter color or even a different color altogether. So, and the same with the inside of the hat. We can do that as well. So this is going to take just a minute off camera so I can get all my pieces out. And we'll come back with maybe the cutout. Let's do that. Okay, we're back. So we've got the body out of this, the darker one. We've got the arms. We've got the tail. This is going to be the top side of the tail. That'll be the underside of the tail. And then we've got the little hood right here. I went ahead and connected these because I don't see any reason to have to put a second seam in there. And then we're going to take and do the lining of the hood in this fabric. But we're also going to use this. I think I'm going to take this center part, split it down the center, and put this rickrack in, and that'll be like the little whatever you call it, like that. Get the idea there? Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should put them on either side of the center. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so now that's what we're going to do there. So now we're going to take this fabric that is the underside of the tail, and we're going to cut out. Go ahead and sew it together. You see, I'm just going to trace my line. That's all I'm doing. Tracing, sewing, and then we will. When I get to this part, we'll put you over to the sewing machine. But I think it's self-explanatory for this part. We're just sewing around our trace lines. So we'll be right back. Okay, so this is where we are so far. We've got his little body sewn up. Again, all I did was just sew around my tracing line. And then to get the belly part, I took the pattern and I simply just cut out the belly part to make a pattern, put it on another fleece, and then just did a zigzag stitch around there. Here's his little arms right here. So he's looking like a little lizard now, isn't he? And his tail. Go ahead and take two-tone there. Now we are going to work two pieces, and I am going to sandwich in the rickrack between the side and the top so that it will stick out like this. That's what I'm envisioning, and that will be like his little lizard bumps. So let's go ahead and get that done. Sorry, I've got you on my little neck though. Let's go ahead and phone holder, and it's hard to maneuver. So, okay, so put a little pin here, grab that rickrack like that, and that's what we're going to do all the way around. Is we're just going to sandwich that in like this, and like this, and pin it. It's probably going to have a ton of pins, but let me take care of this, and we'll come back after I have it all pinned. After I have it all pinned. Okie dokie. There we go. So we got this is the center of the hood and one side of the hood. And then we're going to sew this, and then the rickrack will be coming. Well, it will. The pins are holding it. But you can see it's just tedium. All right. So let me go ahead and sew this. I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to sew. We're going to sew extremely close to the seam line. So we got to catch it. Okay, ready? Here we go. I'm going to take it really slow. I'm actually going to put my machine on slow, so I cannot go midfoot on this. So we're going to go slow. Backspace. You can see. Move our pin. See, because now I'm punched over. Okay, ready? Let's see what we got. Okay, hold your breath. Oh my gosh, it worked. 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 I'm gonna sing a song. I'm gonna sing a song because it worked and it worked and it worked. Okay. Now I'm gonna pin the other side right over here, and then he'll have two little horns on his head, and then we'll do the lining. Okay, I'm gonna do the other side off camera because that was too stressful for me. I got out of jury duty today. I don't need some stress. So the little scraps. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to sew this again in this fabric and that will be the under part. Now, as I'm doing these, I look at it and I'm like, well, it's not really arching the way I want it to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this part, we can see this, okay? So we've got this right here. I'm going to make the lining just a hair wider here. Like I'm going to bring it out. I can do it. I'm going to bring it out just a little bit and then over here, and then I'll work it back into the where it connects here. That way, if I make it wider, then this part right here will create a little bulge. I can use these. It'll be too I'll big, take some if that makes sense. And go and then if I leave it with my excess here, and I'll take some stuffing and come in here and then just poof it out a little bit. I think that might work. And then I might even put just a seam here just to define it. So that's the plan. Again, I don't know if it'll work, but I think it will. And I'm also thinking I'm just going to make him like I don't think I'm going to paint his face. I think I'm just going to make him like a little boy. Well, he'll be like a little boy, like with blushies and stuff, and he'll have the lizard color eyes, but I don't, and then the nose, but I don't think I want to paint this little head because I really do like the fact that Howie's a zombie, so this could be like some kind of little hybrid much lizard kid, I think. So let's see how much there is here sticking out, and so I'm going to pull that forward. There's the lining right here, and then this will stick out. And so right here, I'm just going to stitch in the ditch, so to speak, pull that forward, stitch along here, and then that will be the out part. That's what I'm thinking. It's still not exactly what I wanted, but it gives the overall look, doesn't it? Like it gives the overall. I mean, it's just a toy, for goodness sake. So, but I think it's gonna work. And then I will attach the hood to here, and that might be some hand sewing and some gathering a little bit, and then that will be his little toy. Okay, I put a little stuffing in it, and we'll stitch here, and then we'll get some hopefully how it kind of sticks up a little bit now. Like this. It's not exactly what I had envisioned because this part should be down farther, but it's pretty darn close for just having an idea this morning and making it. So, okay. So the next part of this, I'm just going to go ahead and finish the face, sew the hood and the head, stuff the body, all that kind of stuff. And then we'll come back and we'll see what we're going to do. Because I think because I want it to be a hybrid, I might give him a little bit of hair and his little hood because he's not really a lizard. He's a hybrid lizard. So, all right, let me come back. And it's probably going to be a little bit time past because I think I'm going to go ahead and finish him because I do have to get Howie listed today. I already had to post something on Facebook, Instagram to say he will be listed soon, but I had this brilliant idea. So Howie is ready. Right, let me come. Are you ready to see? This is him. Ready? Ready. Ah! Howie is happy. Howie loves him. He loves Howie, and they're just so happy together. So this is his tail, and then Howie can chew on his tail. We named where his name is Jim because Howie thinks it's a Slim Jim, so his name is Jim. And that's his hair. He just has a little bit of hair like this. And that's his little hat. Now, this didn't come out exactly as I had planned, but nothing ever does. Nothing ever does. And you make the best of it. But I think he is absolutely adorable. And now I have to go get photos of Jim and Howie, and so we can get them listed tonight so they can get adopted today. I'm pretty sure that they will be adopted pretty quickly. So, because he is absolutely adorable. I love him so much. He's just the sweetest little baby zombie. So much. He's just the sweetest little baby zombie. So, Jim and Howie says thank you very much for watching. Howie and Jim will probably be adopted time this video comes out. But if you would like to adopt a Cotton Bellies doll, follow us on Facebook and Instagram because that's where I post when new dolls become available. And I usually list a day and a time when you can adopt them. But I also, to help weed out competition for dolls, because I know a lot of people will probably want to adopt him, and the competition is going to be pretty good for him. But I do post secret dolls, dolls I make during the day, and then I'll just post them randomly on the website. So www.cottonbellies.com is where you can find secret listings and where all the adoptions happen. And I just want to thank you guys so much for sticking through. I know this was a long video. Okay, I'm going to end it here. Watch the whole video. So much for watching. Put a little lizard in the next video. Bye.